16 and I-10 Brooks Coffee Prep. I wanted to know what effect do you think Green Forest has on Chicago?
You said Lauren, right?
Yeah.
And you go to Gwendolyn Brooks, you said?
Yes.
Well, I don't know, Pastor, if you meant though that's part of your community. Is that part of your food stamp garden? Yes. Okay. Let me touch it on Lauren two ways, okay? First of all, there's a lot of schools represented here. You guys are working on teams. As I went around that garden, you guys were telling me all about stuff. While we have garden at our house, we've grown squash. I did not know that. What was that flower plant that keeps the squirrels away? Marigolds. I'm not going to. We have to introduce that to my wife, but that won't allow me to take the fence down in the house. But on a serious note, you guys are learning how to work together first and foremost as a team, because each of you are doing different plots. Second, you're learning about lessons. You're learning about plants. You're learning about what you want to eat. I did not realize part of chicory that was introduced by the French. Things that I have never known we were introducing. And it plays a major role in the city. You working together. And what took a contaminated corners of this great church. And as the pastor just talked about the power of this church is what happens in only the four corners of the building. That what happens around the four corners of the block you're on and the surrounding neighborhood. So every time people pull up to the church, not just on Sunday, they're now going to see a very productive garden that used to be a contaminated area turned into a garden that kids built. And you're actually going to walk away from it. And every time you go by it, you're going to look at it and say, some sense of ownership. And you're also going to have created friendships. You're also probably going to learn skills of cooperation that are going to serve you for the rest of life. And while kitty corner across the street is a little community garden that some folks in the neighborhood built, you're now going to be part of feeding people who don't have access to fresh fruits and vegetables. And you built that. And I think we're a better city because that plot of land was like 3 lots. Is now going to be something that's going to feed 3 dozen families on a regular basis. And you know, going forward, that's something to do. And across the city this summer, with multiple, Ms. Nixon, how many gardens are there being built across the city? Countless. How many gardens are there? Probably.
There are
Sure.
Well, we've got the 100 learning gardens and we've got several hundred community gardens.
Those are many gardens built across the city. All serving different communities.
Hello, my name is Taylor Logan. I'm 17. I go to high school. My question is, if you could, how would you take away all the laws to stop the shooting?
You know, there's 2 parts to this. I was thinking about this because let me say on the law enforcement side, we had a meeting on Monday, Ross County, the federal folks play a big role in not just gas government, but we need that. The first thing is trying to get Washington or Springfield to do something to stop the flow of guns. About 70% of guns that come into the city, Indiana, Wisconsin, Cook County, Cal State. We need, Chicago can't be an island. We need tougher enforcement to stop them or to do background checks. But I got to be also honest, which is somewhat like I said first. You said, what are you going to do about my life expectancy? You didn't mean so serious. Are you going to pick up a gun? You know, individuals have a role to play as much as we as a community have a role to play. I have a role to play. I don't absolve myself of any responsibility. I'm fully responsible and accountable. This incident, this incident today, where the police department discharged the man, started off as 2 teenagers having a disagreement. How does a disagreement not just become a fist fight, but becomes a gun? A person also makes a choice. Without a doubt, there are too many guns. They're way too available. I would also argue there are too little values. Now, because I want to say, there is both responsibility and accountability. Every adult in this room is accountable to making sure you have a community garden or a summer job you can work on, that you can learn a skill. We're responsible. And we should be held accountable. But I want to also say to all the other adults, and you, and your parents, and your religious leaders, we got to make sure you also have the right values. So when you have a disagreement, it stays a disagreement. A fist fight or a disagreement about a boyfriend doesn't become a reason. Well, I'm saying that because 5 weeks ago we had 2 teenage girls disagreeing on Facebook and ended up in gun fights. And I'm like, all of us though, you're how old? Curtis, how old are you? 17. Yeah, how old are you? You guys ready to drive?
Yeah.
You ready to vote?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then you're ready to make some adult choices. You got to make some choices. Are you going to go to college? Or the armed forces, or something after high school? And when you have a disagreement, are you going to immediately turn to violence? I'll make a bet. Right in this room. The answer is no. But more and more people got to make those choices. There is too much availability of guns and too little set of values, both by individuals and a community that also structures where we have to have the pressure when you know what is the right choice, what is good behavior versus what is wrong behavior and the wrong set of choices. That is what I would argue the pastor preaches on a pretty regular basis on Sunday. And then you've got to be able to have the moral grounding to make the right choice. And I suppose my answer to you is related or question. What made you decide to have a summer job versus, or somebody said to me on the way over, this is better than watching computers all day. I don't know if you said that on the walk over. Well, what made you made a choice, right? That same choice or values that led you into saying, you know what, I want to do something. I want to build a garden, or I want to be part of the summer job. What was that? And how do you keep following it? Because that's the right set of choices. I have a role to play. The pastor has a role to play. Our veterans who served our nation but decided their work on behalf of their country is not done have a role to play. But as you get ready for adulthood, you have a role to play. You too are going to make choices, and they got to be influenced by the right set of values. All of us are responsible, and you're about to enter adulthood, which means you're responsible. It's good. And I'm responsible. She's responsible. The pastor is responsible. All of us are responsible. And you're on that doorstep, and we got to make sure we're making the right investment in you. You make the right choice. Does that make sense?
Thank you.
No, thank you for the question. Others back and forth.
Hello, my name is Diane Keys. I'm 17 and I go to CBS High School. My question for you is, what are we going to do to get more games out the corner? Because when I go out north, they have like no guys on the corner, nobody's there, nobody's standing around, everybody knows where they need to go. But out here, we have like a lot of games set on our corners, which is why so many people get killed. So I was wondering what you want to do.
Well, there's two parts that are, there's multiple. A lot of this is about making sure that police move these people off the corners. Because when kids are gathering, they're not just kids. Folks are gathering. Not that it's just gathering, but folks in the community know who's a member of the gang and who's not. And part of anything we do from a law enforcement community side is about working with the community so you are not intimidated by the gang. Working, because part of community policing, working with the law enforcement second piece of this is, we gotta make sure, predominantly, but predominantly, the young men that make up gangs know there's an alternative to the life they chose. Or our God, as they sometimes, they didn't choose that life, but the life chose them. Last year, there was a young man by the name of Sean Shepherd, who worked in our summer job. He worked at FedEx. He used to be a member of a gang. He left the summer job program, and he enrolled in Olive Harvey. And he picked between something in the food industry or something in healthcare. And it all came from experience he had as a summer job, realizing the gang life he made a choice of was the wrong choice. So part of it is law enforcement, working with the community, doing a better job, whether it's trust between police and the community, so the police can be better and more effective. The other part of it is, where it can be, providing opportunities. So folks don't make the wrong choices. And I'm not just talking about summer jobs. I'm also talking about, did you say Harper? When I was at Harper, I was almost sure, but when I was at Harper, I participated in a thing called BAM, Become a Man program. And I introduced President Obama to it. Because you know and I know we got to get a lot of kids involved with mentoring early on. So before they can even be lured by a gang, they have that value system, so that's wrong, better choices. So there's a series of things we got to do to help these kids. But there's a series of things the community's got to do to work with the police department. And part of that is also the police department has to be trusted. So there's a lot of different aspects of breaking gangs.
Hello. My name is Dion. I'm 17. I go to CBS. One thing growing up, my mom always told me that it's not about really what you know or what you do. It's honestly about who you know. And I'm asking, are you offering any kind of mentorship for public, like junior public speakers or junior politicians or anything like that?
You sound, given that the way you asked the question, I think you're a good junior politician already. We have let me say this. Year-round throughout the city, we have 500 internships. So whether it's at City Hall, Department of Transportation, parks, public schools, series of things. It's a whole, I don't know if you know this, but we just passed this thing called the Shackman degree. So the worst person to recommend you would be the mayor. He'll be investigated. But we can get you the information so you can apply to it and be, if you want to do an internship during this year, we have internships. We also made it available at First City for dreamers. So kids from immigrant families could also apply. But during year-round, there's jobs in city government, writ large, around 500 of them. And so we'll make sure that you have the information if you want to apply for it. And my staff will keep an eye on it for you. Okay? Thank you for showing the interest. And you're pretty good at the junior politician part. Putting another politician on the spot. Go ahead.
Since we've been two on this side, we'll go.
Hello, my name is Malik Phillips. I attend Urban Prep Brownsville campus. I just wanted to know why are so many schools closing and what are your visions for the schools?
Well, there's two things. You said unique? Give me your first name again.
Malik Phillips.
Let me roll the tape backwards, okay? Right near you, or not far from you, earlier this week we had expanded Kenwood. So the they have 7th and 8th grade program they have at Kenwood. Yeah, we just talked about it. Cantor, one of the schools, is going to become what's called the Academic Center, which is 7th and 8th grade. So 200 more kids or 250 more will be able to go to Kenwood, a great neighborhood high school. And the 7th and 8th graders will have their own campus, but it will be part of one larger campus. So that's not too far from where your campus is. Second is, I would just say, so you know, this was one of the hardest choices I've made. We consolidated schools, but these are schools that repeatedly, while they're all under-enrolled, but part of all the questions people ask is about violence. And yet, for years, people were saying we have a system that the schools are a pipeline for criminal justice. And if you don't have an education, or your education is not quality, and there's no prospect that we're going to turn it around, I'm not going to, as mayor, allow another generation to get lost. And that means we had to do some tough things. Now, the good news is, through the safe passage, the enrollment was up, even in the worst winter. All the investments were made on our side, from the computers, the physical upgrade of the schools. And I think if you see the educational piece, we got the test scores yet to come out and the results, but I do think we've made progress on academics. And we got to work at it regularly. It's not just what you did the first year, it's what you did also the second year and third year. But if a school is not achieving what it needs to do, we haven't done this yet, but I will guarantee, having talked just briefly outside and then on the walk over, every one of you are thinking about what you're going to do when you graduate high school, where you're going to go next. That's because you have a parent who is involved in your education and a good education where you're on track to graduate. You're thinking at tomorrow. And we've got to make sure that at the earliest level, kids are getting a good education. Which is why this year, we finished every child got every full day of kindergarten for the first time in the history of the city of Chicago. And we're going to do it next year as well. And we're going to keep doing it because kids start dropping out of college or dropping out of high school in third grade. And to make sure that they're ready by third grade, we got to make sure they're ready by 3 years old and 4 years old. And that's what we're doing. And the decision I made was a very tough decision. I don't relish doing it, but I could not, in good conscience, allow kids to continue to go to schools that are not meeting their responsibility of educating kids so they're ready for high school like every one of you.
On this slide, we have Hi, I'm Lila Berman. I'm 16 years old and I go to Keywood Academy. I graduated from Cancer Middle School in 2012. My question is, why is it not more being done about the homeless people?
So they're actually, it's funny you say that because I'm going to get briefed, I think, tomorrow on it. But we actually have made some progress. We got a lot of work ahead of us. One of the populations we actually have made real progress on because we've expanded is teen homelessness. So while we have a population of homelessness, we've actually expanded both the beds, opportunities for a shelter, and education for teen homelessness, which we had. I think we made educational opportunities available for almost about 1,200 more kids, and we've made available 200 to 300 more shelters or beds or sleeping opportunities for teen homeless. But overall, we've actually, going back years prior to my tenure, made progress on reducing the homeless population. But we have a challenge ahead of us, and the biggest challenge actually is our veterans. Not that we were homeless veterans by any stretch of the imagination. But if you look at where you have challenges, and those are both local but also national, is we haven't done our full job of taking care of our veterans, taking care of them. And I thank you for asking a question beyond yourself. No, I'm serious about that. Because you're not homeless, and you're asking to know about other people, and that's very important. Thank you.
Last question.
Hi, my name is Rachel. I'm currently 18 and I just graduated from Kenwood Academy. And my question is, based off what you're saying today, what is your opinion on the program from before you came and you actually seen it and afterwards?
Well, since this is the last question, I'll take this question, but let me make more points, okay? Actually, I've been a big fan of community gardens for, Karen and I were with a group, slightly smaller, yesterday. They're doing a community garden and bike mechanics. I'm a big fan of it. I'm hoping through our initiative, one of the things I asked for this year that was different than last year was that we actually had surveyed communities about what they wanted, where they wanted a community garden. And by all the questions and what I've seen, I think you guys are doing a great job, clearly learning a lot just on gardening, but more importantly, about what it means to work together and build as a team. So that's kind of at one level. This is my third lunch. All summer, every Thursday I'm having lunch with different groups that are of teams. Part of this is it keeps me fresh. More importantly is because I want to actually, I got to tell you something. A lot of times I wish the media saw you guys. Not just when I'm around, because I think they would have a different view of the youth of the city of Chicago. Where do you think, you told me, say again, where are you thinking, what do you think you're going to do next? Navy. Where are you going?
Me?
Yeah, next. You got what year are you? Okay, so you go to college or something?
Yeah, I'm going to college for my baby.
For your baby, okay. Junior? Planning out to college? Okay. You know where?
Howard.
College? Huh? Okay.
See.
College? Great, okay. So you're at college, you told me. Yeah.
Junior.
How long you,
Senior.
what are we thinking of?
3, I got Alabama and you working with
I'm a senior. I have two, Harrisville University or Emory University. Senior.
I see. Where you going?
University of Chicago.
Of the juniors, how many people are thinking to go to college as a show of hands? My view is you're the future of Chicago. And I want people to see that. And I think you're making great choices. I think this is a great program. I would like to see every empty lot in the city of Chicago converted to a community garden. I really do. I think it would be, whether it's a place of worship that's kitty corner from it. Well, we've adopted different programs. In Englewood, we got this. If you have a home or you have an empty lot next to you, you can buy it for $1. As long as you say you're going to do something positive with it, you clean it up and keep turning, because Chicago should not be in a lot of big business. We did it in West Garfield, and I want to expand it. Where we can work with a place of worship or residents, and you guys come in and build a community garden. Great. I will tell you this. I've said this to the Department of Children and Family Services that runs a big part of our One Summer Chicago. Also, Karen, who does our kind of environmental policy. Next year, since you guys kind of as a group, I want to figure out one giant WPA program for the city. So if we do 24,000 kids, this year was 22,000. Take one project where 2,000 kids are working on it throughout the city of Chicago. Do one giant kind of WPA project. I don't know whether that's building we're doing this in Bloomingdale Trail, like the bike path. But take apart, there's a whole track around Englewood, and we're exploring whether we could have you guys, the young, 1,000 kids every day, clear it, get it ready, prep it until we do what we need to do. So my view is, anytime we can bring people together to build something in a community that's lasting and has a legacy, it will change your life, and it will change your neighborhood, and you'll leave something behind. The reason I'm big for public service is there's nothing more rewarding for your yourself than doing something for somebody else. And I think you've learned something beyond yourself this summer. And you've given something to your city, and both through the work of the church, the work of our veterans. Our city's going to be physically changed, and you are going to be a character, a different person. That is why I love this program. And maybe some of you will decide to take your parents' old Schwinn bikes and fix them up. I don't know that also. That will be an extra kicker at the end. But I'm a big believer in gardening as a whole. We've got about 100 schools with community gardens. I'd love to see where we have empty lots, because it changes the quality of life, how a neighborhood feels, how the community feels. You want to, and if people in the neighborhood are part of that, you won't see gangs destroying them. They'll know that's not a zone that they can go to, that's not a place they can destroy, because then you've affected something the community's invested in. So in multiple ways, I think this is a great, gardening is a great, or community gardening is a great effort. If I could speak at it, just on what it's done for you, I'm a ASON. What it's done for the church and what it can do for the rest of the neighborhood, I'm a ASON. What it's done for giving a community what used to be an empty lot with bottles and other types of stuff in it and turned it into something beautiful, I'm an ASON. So like multiple ways, I think this is great. And I bet you, all these great veterans who have served their country have probably taught you guys something, and I bet you on the way back and forth and doing lunch and whatever, you've asked them certain questions about what they've done in life. And I think they probably have passed on some incredible, valuable lessons to you. Well, I call that a win.
Okay, I have one question.
Oh, do you have a backup question? I thought that was a pretty good answer. You want a summer internship?
No, I just want you to do something. I want you to ride the bike.
You want me to ride the bike?
Yes.
I rode the bike last week, but I'll ride it this week. You got to do me one favor.
Okay.
When I go outside with it, you just can't let anybody know that I did it without a helmet, because then I get in trouble.
I mean, you